my friends. This is Noa Lakshmi here with your astrological and inspirational update to be your best self, because we are elevating humanity for a better world using the wisdom of the planets and the stars and the cosmos, the heavens and the earth. Where do I even begin this week? This is June 1st today. I'm recording this. It's a Wednesday, beginning a new month. And it's loaded. It is loaded. Trying to make sense of whatever is going on right now. And I'll start with just a personal, very honest share. The last few days have been quite interesting. Let's just say that. Feeling a lot of, I know I talked about that last week. There's a lot of shadows that are coming up for all of us individually, and then again to remember that we are part of this web and this collective, and we feel things that are happening, that are shifting. And it's quite interesting. I live down in Encinitas, Southern California, and I don't know if you guys are familiar with May gray, and I guess now we're going into June gloom, and it's been gloomy. This is not a usual thing here in Southern California. Just gray. The sun comes out for maybe 10 minutes, a couple hours in the afternoon if we are lucky. But it's been quite gray, and it affects me at a very deep level since I'm such a sun worshiper. But the way I see it, which is quite cool, the weather reflects very often what's happening internally for all of us as a collective, and what's happening for me. And so this gloominess, the sun is hidden somewhere. It feels like that to some degree. All this shadow work that is being done, so many people are in a deep process of looking at their shadows, looking at fears, and feeling all kind of shit. This is really my experience in the last few days, and I know we all have a different experience, and I like to see it as taking shifts. Like, we cannot all be dealing with our shit all the time, because we need to function. So we keep taking shifts. This week or last week, the last few days, I've taken the shit shift quite a bit. I slept for 12 hours last night and just could not get out of bed today. So here's what's up. Mars is still in retrograde, and I talked about that last week, and I'm going to talk about it again and again and again, because it's a big influence. It's a big energy for us. And not just that it's in retrograde, it went into Scorpio, and that adds more to the intensity of Mars being in retrograde and cutting through a lot of shit. That's the best way I can describe it. Mars is the warrior, and Mars is the action planet, and it's a fire planet. It's pretty close to the Earth right now, so you can see it at night. It's the red planet. And so much of the stuff that we are feeling too are very much connected to our human existence. You know, a lot of times in spirituality, we give so much emphasis and so much attention on the heart and the crown chakra and the third eye and the solar plexus. All good. Right now, though, there's a lot being felt on a human level and our sexual level. Root chakra. Mars is red. The root chakra, the second chakra as well, the sacral chakra, which is our sexuality, money. All of those stuff are so present right now. And Mars being in Scorpio, it just adds into this whole sexual energy. And if it's sexual wounds that many of you are feeling and dealing with, if it's sexual desires or sexual nature, I know I talked a little bit about that last week, just the gender game, men and women, and the sexual energy between men and women, but it's also just in our own selves. And looking at our desires, looking at our needs when it comes to sex and sexuality, that energy within us. What do we do with it? How do we live with it? Looking at the past, the things that, some choices maybe that you've made along the road of your life, and what is just not fitting so much, what is just not working so much, that it brings us into so many of our belief systems that are up for evaluation still. And so we tie in the topic of sexuality and our sexual desires and sexual needs. What kind of belief systems do you really have around that? What is outdated? What is ready to be changed? What are you being delusional about? You know, when it comes to sex, to sexuality, the opposite sex or the same sex, whoever you're attracted to, what it is that you attract into your life, where is it coming from, what is real, what is just ego-based desires and needs that really are not fulfilling you on a spiritual level. So it's so much of that is in flux, and it's just happening, and it's we are looking at deep into our own desires and soul's desires, opposing to ego desires. What am I doing in my life? What am I choosing to just like kind of stroke my ego, but is not fulfilling on a deep level? And you guys, we are feeling the energy. There's a build-up to the new moon that is happening on the 4th of June or the 5th, depending where you are, Saturday or Sunday. And this is, we don't see these things happen very often, okay? It's not only that a new moon, we're going to have a triple conjunction with the sun, moon, and Venus. Sun and moon coming together, that's a new moon. And then Venus joins the party. So literally an exact conjunction in the sign of Gemini, sun, moon, and Venus. So what does it mean? Venus represents our relationships, love, sexuality too, to some degree, sexuality, sensuality, and money. So again, the second chakra that I was talking about, very, very important to focus on that right now for you in your own life, and seeing the connection between your relationships and your financial situation, or your relationship to money. Now with Venus coming into conjunction with a new moon, it's mind-blowing. It's a beautiful energy. And the new moon is all about new beginnings and new seeds being planted and new directions. And so much of this new moon is about newness and change. So here's the thing with this new moon and the energy that we're feeling right now, and all of those things shifting and coming up for us and coming up for evaluation and reevaluation, is that if you realize that something needs to change and you're not going with it and you're not changing it, life is going to get quite chaotic. I'll be honest. It won't be pretty, because the universe, with all the, we are looking at a grand cross that is happening with this new moon. A grand cross is a very almost forceful energy from the universe, from God, that is inviting us and almost pushing us to change. It's all immutable signs. Mutable, it's changeable. And there's a great invitation to change right now. It's more than change, it's transmutation. So if you are looking at things in your life that you know need to change, you need to transmute, and you're resisting it, it's gonna slap you in the face. That's the truth. And it's also a beautiful energy when we invite that into our lives, and when we are acknowledging that there's something that needs to change and we don't resist it. It's a beautiful opportunity for so much newness to happen. So what's happening right now, and what is being felt by a lot of people, is that there are a lot of directions that are in front of you, that you can choose, that you can take, because with all this evaluation that is happening, the introspection that we've been in for so many freaking weeks, and realizing, okay, this needs to change, I know what needs to be done. And if you just choose to go with it instead of choosing fear, it's a great opportunity. That's what's so beautiful about the Grand Cross. It's the pressure, but what's in the middle of that? There's a diamond. And in order for that diamond to really get crystallized and shine, you need some pressure. That's the pressure that is being felt. And it's not an easy thing to feel the pull in so many directions. And you guys, we've got so many things, so many different energies in oppositions and in squares. Our intuition versus our mind versus our gut feeling, which is intuition as well, versus our logic versus our belief system versus our illusions versus our reality check of like, okay, what do I need to do? Where are the places in my life where I just need to freaking grow up? And the part of us that's like, I don't want to grow up. I just want to stay in this dreamy illusion and whatnot. And all this happening all at the same time in a very mutable, changeable kind of energy. So, first of all, do not hold down tight to anything. Even if something does become really clear, it's not about, okay, that's it. That's the only way now. Things are very malleable right now. That's the word, very malleable. So you've got to stay malleable as well. And within that malleability, I just made up a word, find your center. If there's something that is extremely important right now is to ground yourself, going back to the root chakra that I was talking about earlier right now. It's not so much about just being up in the clouds right now, opening your third eye, opening your crown chakra. If you don't have a solid root chakra to keep you grounded, to keep you real, that open crown chakra and third eye and all this intuition can flow, but if it's not grounded, if there's no reality check in a real way, it can be a little tricky right now. So I really want to invite you to dedicate time every single day right now for the next few weeks. I'll be honest with you, for the next few weeks, you've got to dedicate that to yourself every single day to stay grounded, to really find your center in whatever way that you find your center, but to not get lost in all these different energies that are operating right now, all these different directions that are pulling on us, and the pressure that is being felt. If we don't have a strong, solid center, we just want to collapse. And a lot of that is what I felt in the last couple of days of like, I just want to shrivel and disappear. And I do have a strong center, and I do have a solid sense of self and my center, yet feeling the pressure, feeling the pulling energies, and there are big visions that are being that are inviting us to put more energy into, for us to grow and expand in a real solid manner on this earth, on this planet. And those are big shoes that we are being invited to step into and to walk with. So I just want to send you this message and encourage you to stay strong in your faith right now. To stay strong in your faith. Keep committing yourself to yourself first and foremost, to your vision. Don't give up. The next few weeks are going to be a wild ride, and this new moon on Saturday, pray and meditate on what is the directions that you are taking in your life right now, and you are super committed to yourself, and you are super committed to stay true to your heart and to stay true to who you are. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your support. I'm sending you so much love and light on your journey. Again, always the reminder that we are doing this together. And these are crazy times, but we're riding the waves with love in our hearts. That's the most important thing. Just keep the love burning in your heart and in your soul for yourself and for your fellow human beings. If you want a personal reading with me, then please go to my website, noalakshmi.com. These are great times to actually get readings and get more clarity, more guidance on your own individual path and what's exactly happening in your life. What else? Again, sending you tons of love, and be your best self. We are elevating humanity for a better world. Have a wonderful week. Sat now.